In the run-up to May 22nd, when we get Mandalorian and Grogu on the big screen, I'm reviewing all of the live-action Star Wars content, and we are now at the original trilogy. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, which was originally in 1977 titled Star Wars. It wasn't until the special editions came out that everything was kind of changed, but this is where the series began its roots. Written and directed by George Lucas, the film stars Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Peter Cushing, Alec Guinness, Anthony Daniels, Kenny Baker, Peter Mayhew, David Prowse, and James Earl Jones. The film follows resistance movement called the Rebel Alliance that aims to destroy the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star. When the rebel leader Princess Leia is captured by the Galactic Empire, Luke Skywalker acquires stolen architectural plans for the Death Star and sets out to rescue her, while learning the ways of a metaphysical power known as the Force from Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. For a movie that is 50 years old, this film looks amazing. Partly because it's been restored so much and so much care has been taken to make sure it's as best as it can be, which is kind of sad. Like, you kind of wish that other movies or all movies had the same treatment that Star Wars has had. Now, they did do a special edition, which is the only version currently available on streaming platforms and Disney+. There was an old cut of the original movies on DVD at some stage, but they were horrific transfers. I think the best version you can get of that original movie now, you can get the despecialized editions, which are available online, but they are quite hard to get hold of. Next year, we're getting the re-release of the original cut in 4K. I'm very, very excited for that. So I will go back next year and review the original cut movie, and we can do a comparison. But for now, this is the version of the special edition, the only one you can really see online. Firstly, the practical effects are incredibly done. They still look good today. They still look better than most CGI filled movies today, and it looks better than the prequels. I'm gonna say it, like, it just has aged better. And I'm not talking about the CGI, I'm talking about the practical stuff that was in the original cut. The CGI makes this movie a bit of an annoyance to watch, because the added stuff here, especially in this movie, are not very good. The score is iconic. John Williams' Star Wars score, if you could actually say, is probably what made the movie what it is. You take the music from Star Wars, it's a very different movie. But yeah, the special effects that were added in the special edition does harm to the movie. It does harm to the trilogy, in my opinion. I think The Empire Strikes Back is probably the least affected, and I would say this is probably the most affected. The Jabba the Hutt scene, where they took the deleted scene of the original version of Jabba the Hutt, which was a human being, and they edited Han Solo to walk over Jabba's tail. It looks really, really clunky now. For me, it pulls me out the movie. There's a lot of unnecessary moments that he just stuck in because he wanted to, and I prefer the original cut. But everything in this movie is lived in and rusty, and you get this junk kind of recycled feeling with everything in this movie, prop-wise. We get loads of creatures in the movie, especially the Jawas. They are so cool in this movie. I remember loving them as a kid. The droids in this movie are masterfully done. There's a wide array of different droids in the movie, especially when C-3PO and R2-D2 get picked up by the Jawas. I just miss the days when movies felt this magical. Like, it's a rare breed now. Even in the 90s, there were movies that felt magical and felt this good. I think it peaked like early 2000s when we had like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Of course, you get the odd occasion where you go to the movies now and you see a movie and it gives you that buzz, and it's what I crave. But now it's very far and few between. I don't know if that's just an age thing or if it really is a reflection on what's going on in the world of movies at the moment. I'd like to know down in the comment section. This movie just makes me reflect on everything. Every time I watch this movie, it takes me back to when I first saw it on VHS. I had those original cuts as well on VHS, which I loved and I worn down. But not everything is fantastic in this movie. It's a movie that shouldn't have worked, but it does. And there's some stuff in here, like Mark Hamill's performance isn't all that great.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
You're who?
I'm here to rescue you. I've got your R2 unit. I'm here with Ben Kenobi.
Ben Kenobi? Where is he?
Come on.
But then so is the script. It feels clunky. But there are a few performances in the movie I think that hold the movie up. Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi brings a completely different class to the film. Plays the old wise man that has the knowledge of this mystical power. And that's the thing, everything in this movie, just as this movie alone, feels more mystical and mysterious, and like there's this magic behind everything. It's funny when you look at the original trilogy as a whole and Star Wars as a whole, because when Luke Skywalker turns around and says that the princess is beautiful, that's your sister, mate. I have to also acknowledge the Family Guy Star Wars movies they did, the parodies, because they have absolutely ruined Star Wars original trilogy for me. Every time there's a scene that comes up and I remember it, I'm like, God damn it.
Inform the commander that Lord Vader's shuttle has arrived. And also, we're missing a bunch of snow shovels from the storeroom. Does anyone know anything about that?
Snow shovels?
No.
No, haven't seen any snow
I
shovels.
haven't heard about it.
No.
Also, I love how savage C-3PO is to R2-D2 in these movies, but also how everyone is so savage to C-3PO. It's the one thing that Rise of Skywalker got right with C-3PO, and how everyone just keeps telling him to shut up. Cushing as Tarkin, though, absolutely awesome, and I just wish that he was in this trilogy longer. He's very short-lived here, very underutilized, but when he is on screen, he just gives such an excellent performance. Hearing Luke call the droids robots as well, that's really weird. It's like when they say laser sword. We get Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's burnt carcasses in the movie. It's so dark. Like, it's probably the darkest moment we have in Star Wars, actually seeing burnt corpses. Like, that is traumatic for a kid. Another thing that makes me laugh that is really, like, overlooked is that he wants to learn the Force and become a Jedi like his father. And it, like, literally, he'd only just heard about this, like, 5 minutes ago. It's like when he questions Han Solo as well, and he's like, you don't believe in the Force, do you? You just literally learnt about it. And again, it's another thing that Family Guy rip into. At this stage in the movie is where we get the CGI creature that walks past the screen really slowly. And it's like, I can't wait to see that original cut again, because it's so annoying. The cantina is just iconic. It's just cinema. It's incredible. I love the vast array of creatures, the music, the fact you have all these weird creatures in there and they turn to the droid and say, we don't serve your kind here. When you think of Star Wars, you think of the cantina. It's one of those moments. Harrison Ford is an absolute badass as Han Solo. When he's in frame, he completely absorbs all the attention. Like, he's a badass. He's an awesome pilot. He has this cool ship. He has a cool kind of companion in Chewbacca. His dialogue's cool.
Control, situation normal.
What happened?
Had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
We're sending a squad up.
Negative. We have a reactor leak here now. Give us a few minutes to lock it down. Large leak, very dangerous.
Who is this? What's your operating number?
I think without Harrison Ford, the film would have suffered. Same with Alec Guinness, his performance as well. And you know what? They never quite ever showed the same amount of races and creatures that we got in the cantina. There's such a vast array, and I felt like they really put a focus on the different species and creatures. When you go and look at, say, Maz's castle in Force Awakens, it doesn't feel as vast and as varied in terms of creature design. Also, I love how Greedo is essentially wearing a tracksuit. He's like this chavvy gangster. Also, hearing Vader talk to Tarkin, Tarkin's kind of like almost bossing Vader a little bit around, and it's kind of weird to me. But hearing Vader say casual dialogue in this that you don't notice normally, like he turns around to Tarkin and says, "What do you mean?" I don't know why, but as we go on throughout the saga, Darth Vader's dialogue is very thought out, and like every line almost has this great meaning and dark side wisdom to it. But in this one, he's just like, "What do you mean?" It's just weird. There's small moments of great character nuance in this, like Han Solo, when C-3PO walks up to him and says hello, and he just shakes his head. Like, I love that. It's the same thing in Force Awakens when he says move ball to BB-8. Like, I love Han's character and his little nuances and little things that he does and little facial expressions. There's almost like, what the fuck am I doing here? And a lot of that is down to Harrison Ford and the way that he thought this movie was wild and like almost like, what the hell is this? I love the moments like, besides, I know a few maneuvers, and he's literally just flying straight. The trash compactor is this weird kind of like moment that slows the movie down a little bit, but it's like a creature feature moment when there's something underwater and they're trying to get out. It's just a fun character building moment between them all when they're all on screen, but it's a very weird, slow moment. Sequence where Han is chasing the stormtroopers, stops, screams, and then he gets chased. It's so comedic. You can imagine again the Benny Hill music against this part, but it's just a fun little moment as well. Things like this are just so enjoyable. The film is full of so much fun. The lightsaber duel though is probably the least exciting in the entire series. It's two like older men fighting, and it's very, very, very slow. It's almost like at times their lightsabers don't even touch. It's just, it is very clunky, and the lightsabers do look a little bit weird and dated, a little bit flat. Also, the big guy, the pilot, the big guy, they call him Porkins. It's so unfortunate. Trench Run is awesome though. It's weird because you get this moment in the movie where Obi-Wan is cut down, they're back, they escape the Death Star, and it's almost like the film ends, and then you get this whole other ending where they're blowing up the ship. They're blowing up the Death Star. And the trench run's cool. It feels like a World War II movie, almost like a Dam Busters-esque movie. And then you have the Death Star blowing up, and you have the medal sequence, which is weird because Chewie never got his medal, and that's a whole thing amongst Star Wars fans they love to talk about. Obviously, he gets his medal later in the sequel trilogy. How dare they not give my boy a medal? But like I said, this movie holds up so well. Being 50 years old, both this and Jaws are both for 50. Well, Jaws is 51 now, I guess. It's wild. I just want more movies to get the same treatment and make sure that they still look good 50 years later. It's kind of wild to think, like, what are people going to think about the sequel trilogy in 50 years' time when Force Awakens turns 50? Wild to think about. But this movie for me is absolute cinema. What do you guys think of A New Hope? Let me know down in the comment section below. I feel like this is a movie, if you're a movie fan, though, like a movie buff at least, like me, and you're a bit nerdy, I feel like Star Wars is just something you automatically love, and you, even if you're not into Star Wars and you're a movie buff, I feel like you at least like respect it. I don't think, like, I've never come across someone that just says Star Wars is rubbish. There's people that haven't seen it, which is wild to me, but I haven't ever seen anyone say that Star Wars is rubbish. So I'd like to know. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think. Let's get that discussion going, and I'll be back soon with my review for The Empire Strikes Back. I look forward to bringing you that one. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.